redefining co-working.
Exceptional offices for every business.
eSpaces expands with 2 premier locations.
Cool Springs at Corporate Center and Brentwood at City Park.
Explore the private offices, team suites, and fully equipped meeting rooms.
Limited spaces are available.
Schedule your private tour now at espaces.com and be sure to check out all 15 locations at espaces.com.
That's eSpaces.com.
espaces.com.
Playing football at Michigan at 18 years old was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. And going to school at the University of Michigan was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. And I was doing both of them at the same time. And it's just like, especially as a freshman, I'm drowning trying to learn speed brake Detroit right side 300 box Y stick H through or 54X slush. And there's 80 of those. There's 80 of those to know. Have you lost any bets from female refs?
No. I just want to see a female ref break up a fight.
No, I do feel though that
that's what I want to see.
She always has her hand on the flag, ready to pull it.
Just random, or is there one?
She's angry. She's grumpy.
Flag.
She's
not holding enough. He's not holding me enough.
This is what I always say about football. I don't care about the guy who's sitting on his couch watching to be entertained, who's eating potato chips. This is about giving young men an opportunity to go showcase what they're capable of on a field and face adversity. And, you know, the more you soften the game at every single level, the more of an opportunity you're taking away from them to do that.
The Try That in a Small Town podcast begins now.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Try That. Is it the Try That in a Small Town podcast?
Try That.
It's just Try That.
Try That.
Podcast. Yeah.
Welcome back to Try That in a Small Town podcast.
Yeah, we got Thrash, Kalo, TK. I'm Kurt, and it's cold in Nashville.
We got a new
cold.
Thrash. Look at Thrash. Look how good he
It's
looks.
because it's so cold.
This is as long as I've had it.
It looks really good.
I'm past the irritating stage.
Are you growing it out?
Yeah, I'm going to see what happens.
You look really good, man.
How does Lana feel about it?
Well, it's like a new man.
She'll do what she's told,
No.
Kurt. Oh, boy. That's what Neil told me.
That's
Not
Neil's.
even
That's
close.
Neil's words.
Not even close.
Neil said,
I don't
Lana will
think
do
so.
what I say.
Yeah.
And then I said, you better check with Lana about that.
Yeah. You all do what Lana says.
Amen, we
That's
do.
a fact.
Yeah, I had a good. Mine was a little longer because we hadn't.
You're
recorded in a
clean
couple
right
weeks.
now.
You're clean.
Well, I did right before I got here, so I couldn't make a decision.
With a razor?
Does Rachel like a
Yeah.
smooth face? Does she
Yeah.
like a smooth face?
She likes both ways.
Yep.
Face wise.
Did you break out the Manscaped? Did you break out the Manscaped?
Nope.
5000?
Still has the little plastic wrapping on it.
What are you waiting for?
Hold on, did you buy it?
No, I've just had it for.
No, he's got one.
You actually have?
No, I did.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
we
I
talked
did
about
buy
it.
it, but I've had it for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting in the...
It's probably outdated. I don't even know if it works. Everything needs an app now. So, I don't know.
I mean, you should at least try
Anyway.
it. You should at least try it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
give it
anyway,
No, you should.
yeah. But
Life's short.
yeah. Well. Anyway.
Some shorter than others.
Oh, my gosh. Let's talk about tonight. Yeah, let's talk about tonight because this is a really cool episode. David Cohn, who has a show of his own called Crane and Company, right? Mm-hmm. It's a sports show. It's over on the Daily Wire, Daily Wire Plus. They talk a lot of sports, a lot of college athletics, and, of course, it's over the Daily Wire, so they have a conservative viewpoint as well. But this dude is legit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
State championship, won quarterback, went to University of Michigan. I mean, a top-tier college.
A place where the GOAT
Yeah, absolutely.
reigned.
Peyton Manning went. You go.
I didn't know Nick Saban went there.
That's so ridiculous, Caleb.
You were saying. I'm just.
But
kidding.
listen, with David, with all that and how cool that is, he's actually an artist as well. He's got a new song out called Richest Man in Town. He grew up listening to country music. We're going to talk a lot about that. He's got a great knowledge of country music history, and he's a great artist. It's just a really cool thing. And, we love talking sports, so we're going to talk a lot of sports, but we're going to talk some music with him, too, because I know he's anxious to talk about his music stuff.
Yeah. I want to, ask him about some of the betting stuff, just because watching some of the stuff today, getting ready. He's just throwing out all these things and these terms, like, because I always get lost. Everybody's gambling on stuff. Said, well, let's do the, it's, Oregon minus 27.5. Whatever. I'm like, I know that means that somebody's supposed to lose or win by 27.5. But I'm not sure which one. So that's how basic.
Minus
that's the level I'm at.
Losing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to, because he can roll off that stuff really good. He
seems like a pretty intelligent man.
He's very sharp. He's a little smarter than, I'll say, me. Definitely smarter than me.
Taller
It seems like every guest we have on smarter than we are.
Yeah, again, we set a low bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can they make up shit for a living and make money at it?
He can.
Do you think?
I said make money at it.
Do you think that when the guests leave, when we have guests on and their guests leave, walk
he's
out the
actually
door,
really good though.
you think the guests say, "Wow,
they're sure
they're smarter than I thought they were"?
No.
Yes.
I don't know.
Never.
I don't know. But they do
Has
seem
any
to.
guest ever said that?
No, but they do seem to enjoy it because we do love people, and all the guests we've had, everybody's different, but it's always fun. And what I like about it, like especially a guy like David, is I knew nothing about him. And so then you research him, for yet 2 or 3 hours or whatever to get ready, and then you go down the rabbit hole. It's like, God, I should have spent 10 hours on this because everybody's done so much. It's just a super interesting guy, so I'm pumped about the episode.
Yeah, totally anxious for everybody to hear it. We got to make sure, before we do that, we thank our sponsors. Of course, we got Original Glory Beer, which is an awesome beer. Make sure you go check it out. Well, somebody should bring some next time. We'll have it here.
We should have, because Veterans Day today on the filming here.
That would have been a good one.
So we should have done that. Neil?
Of course, in filming here, we're at eSpaces, which is an amazing studio they've given us. To check out eSpaces.com. And, of course, our favorite cell phone company in the world, Patriot Mobile.
Got my hat on.
Yeah.
You got your hat on. You're representing.
And everybody's got their line rocking, right? Like, Kurt, can you kind of like quickly explain that real quick?
They have different plans, but what we have and what I have is basically 2 different carriers on my phone. So my main carrier is AT&T, and it's fine. But sometimes AT&T, you don't get great service, and I can flip over to my other line, which is T-Mobile, and go to that, and I got great service.
So that's your Patriot line.
It's
right?
called my Patriot line, but they can do that with anything, and with any 2 carriers. You can get Verizon, you can get whatever. Basically, they can just do that on your phone. And 2 lines, like I said, they have all different kind of plans, but that's what I've got. Great on the road. Yeah. It's amazing.
Great company, but also, rest assured the people that are behind this company are amazing people.
Yeah,
they're great. Couldn't
people
feel better about being involved with Patriot Mobile in so many ways.
Yeah, and they love some Aldine, don't they?
No, they're good people.
How many shows? Do they go to almost every show?
They were almost every show.
Yeah, I mean, they sponsored the tour, so they were there pretty much every show.
Amazing people.
But they're just
they're
amazing
good huggers.
patriots.
Yeah, they are good huggers.
Good huggers.
I agree.
They bring it in.
Yeah.
You know how I like to hug.
I know.
These
Full
guys
frontal.
They get a 10 and a half on the hug meter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're so thankful for them. We're thankful you guys for watching. Just check out, here's David Cohn. David, thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah. Man, thank you guys so much for having me. This is a real honor.
David is the co-host of the show Crane and Company. He's also got some new music out, which we got to get to that in a little bit. But for the people that haven't seen the show, tell them what Crane and Company is.
So we have a sports show over at the Daily Wire. We moved here from Atlanta in 2022, and just real honored to live here in Nashville, man. We try and bring a very pro-America patriotic feel for our sports show. And, hey, I think we'll fit right in with you guys. But I'm serious, man. All you guys and the work that y'all have done has been a big inspiration on me personally. And
I don't know if I'd call it work.
Well,
hey, let him go on. He's saying good things. He's saying nice things. Go on, David.
Please continue.
Seriously, y'all's dedication to your craft, man. It's been a real inspiration, and thanks for everything you guys do, and thanks for having me here.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. What do you guys want to get to? You want to talk to the music? You want to talk sports? What should we do?
What's he want to talk about?
Yeah,
what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about sports or music?
Well, I see you with your Alabama here on Roll Tide, man.
Roll Tide. You're a Tide fan.
Well, I married into it.
Your father-in-law was a former quarterback.
I'm married into this. Richard Todd's my father-in-law.
That's unbelievable.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Which I have to say, man, and when I met my wife, Darby Lou, she's just the greatest, and we hit it off. Football was obviously a big reason that we hit it off. We met in Atlanta working together. and she's like, yeah, my dad played football, and it took a couple dates before I realized, oh wait, that's Richard Todd's daughter. You know, but I grew up a Dolphins fan. My dad was Glade, Florida. That was a big AFC East rivalry. You know, but
not really. How much of it? Seriously, really.
Well, when I fell in love with the Dolphins, it was the Dan Marino era, and Tom Brady hadn't started doing his thing yet in the division. But anyway, Richard Todd's great, man, as far as father-in-laws go. Just the greatest guy, and he said to tell you Roll Tide.
Roll Tide back to him. I'm sure I watched him play when I was...
I bet you did. He's got some great Bear Bryant stories and Joe Namath stories.
I would love to hear that.
I spent a lot of time at Legion Field.
We'll get Richard in here. We'll get Richard in. And Bob Baumhauer. You should get Bob Baumhauer in here.
Yes.
You know what's funny is
get him to bring us some food.
Yeah, some wings, man. My dad pushed my brothers and me pretty hard playing football, and whenever he would simulate a pressure against me, one name he would always say, because he grew up a Dolphins fan, was Bob Baumhauer. I'm Bob Baumhauer. I'm coming after you. But I got so tired of hearing that name. Then I married Richard Todd's daughter. Come to find out, Richard and Bob are best friends. Bob's the first person who high fives me after my wife and I come down the aisle at our wedding.
God.
You know,
wow.
Like, man, I hated hearing your name growing up, but he's a great guy too.
Okay, so you alluded to it. You're a former college quarterback. You won a state championship in high school, which I think is interesting. We were just talking, right, at Statesboro?
Statesboro High School, yeah.
Which we have some old ties to. And, of course, Aldine is from that area. As a matter of fact, you may have beat his high school. Was he at Warner Robins?
Yeah.
Which I think is who
Jason
you guys
went
beat.
to Warner Robins?
Yeah.
Now, that's news to me. I didn't know that. Wow.
I believe
so. Yeah,
so.
so I'm from Statesboro, Georgia, where Georgia Southern University is.
yeah.
I was born in Greenville, North Carolina. My mom got a job at Georgia Southern University and moved there when I was 2, and I grew up loving country music and college football, man. And so got an opportunity to be the starting quarterback at Statesboro High. We went to 3 state titles in 3 years.
Dang.
Didn't throw the ball a lot, though. So I was a drop
like
back.
a wishbone? Or
Yeah,
just...
wishbone. We ran the wishbone, but we won a lot of games, and my dad was always getting calls from private schools like, hey, send your son over here, we'll throw it every down. But at Statesboro, they had just won a state title when I was in 8th grade, and they playing against top tier competition. So went to 2 in a row, lost both of them. I lost the state title my sophomore year to Marist, who had a quarterback by the name of Sean McVay, who's just coaching the Los Angeles Rams right now. Had a pretty good career. Wow. Then my junior year, we lost to Warner Robins. We were up at halftime. Warner Robins came back and beat us. And then my senior year, Northside Warner Robins. We got them, though, in the state title.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
And then you got recruited by Michigan, right?
Had no plans to go 1,000 miles away from home. Thought I might go to Alabama.
Yeah, I gotta hear how you wound up in Ann Arbor.
My dad. We would drive from Statesboro to Brandon, Mississippi every year for Christmas, where my grandparents lived, and he would take me through the Bear Bryant Museum, and we'd get Dreamland barbecue ribs every year. He's like, man, if you went to Alabama, that'd be cool, where Joe Namath went. And all that. So he called whoever was the recruiting coordinator over there, like Randy Ross or somebody, and the guy said, Mr. Cohn, I got a lot going on. I got more important things to do than watch your son's film right now, or something like that. And he's like, well, what, isn't that your job, kind of? Okay, but we'll send him somewhere else, So I went to a bunch of different camps growing up because we didn't throw the ball a lot. So I had to go to camp at Auburn and Florida State and South Carolina. And so there was different interest from a lot of programs. Louisville was in the mix too, but I went to Ann Arbor, and Coach Carr was the head coach then, and he offered me a scholarship on the spot. I just thought, man, that's 1,000 miles away from home. And my mother, who's from Columbus, Ohio, mind you, okay, so what little college football she cared about in the house growing up was all Buckeyes. She about leapt through the roof when Lloyd Carr offered me a scholarship in that room. But it was a great honor, man. I mean, to be a part of the winningest program in college football history. I was in the room for Bo Schembechler's final speech on a Thursday night. We're playing Michigan's playing Ohio that Saturday, 1-2 matchup my freshman year. Bo Schembechler comes in on Thursday night and gives us a speech. Doesn't really talk about the game, just talks about what it is to be a Michigan man. And he didn't talk to the team a lot, so that was an awesome experience. Wake up Friday night, he passed away.
Oh my
Wow.
God!
Passed away. We play, and to the Buckeyes' credit, they called Coach Carr and said, "Hey, this is, we'll push the game back, like whatever we have to do. This is a big moment in this rivalry." And Coach Carr said, "No, we're coming to Columbus." We go down there and lose by 3 in the 1-versus-2 matchup. They go to the national championship. We go to the Rose Bowl, which, hey, not bad to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
No.
My first time in Los Angeles as a freshman, getting to go out there, but some awesome experiences to be a part of that brotherhood at Michigan. So I'm very, very grateful that I was able to play college football.
That's awesome.
Did you get any recruiting from Brady? Did he?
Tom really didn't come back when I was there that much, and there was all sorts of rumors that he, based off how his career went at Michigan, that he didn't get along that well with the current coaching staff or whatever. I don't know what truth there is to that.
Yeah.
I know he's been back since, but he didn't come back a lot. But my quarterback coach, Scott Loeffler, at the time was really close with Tom Brady because they played together. So he was always, holding us to a very high standard with Brady, who was winning Super Bowls by that time, and showing us his tape on how he progressed throughout his career and things that we needed to do. So again, another example of just like being thrown into this awesome brotherhood with some of the best football players in the world.
Hey, so who were the other? Was it like Chad Henne or Ryan Mallett? Was it that era?
Yeah,
that you
Chad
were there
was
with?
2 years older than me. Ryan was a year behind me. So, I sat behind Chad Henne for 2 years. And just to show you what sort of levels there is to this, because there was a time when I thought I was pretty good, winning state championships. And you go and you're watching Chad Henne play, and I'm like, man, he's the best I ever played with. And then he goes to be Patrick Mahomes' backup for 2 Super Bowls, right? And that's the best he played with. And Chad's been on our show over at Crane & Company, and we've talked about this and how the game has evolved and players playing more in space and all those sorts of things. But, man, he was an incredible player.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's got to be crazy to watch the evolution of the quarterback position, right? I mean, from what, I like, Tom Brady, the Dan Marino type QBs.
The old prototypical.
You fit right into my.
Yeah.
If I was drafting a QB, tall.
It'd be David Cohn.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What is that like? Or it feels like every team. And I'm not talking NFL now. Like it seems like they're really wanting the Jaden Daniels type QBs, and he's great.
Can hurt you running. And,
can hurt you running, or
This is where I wanted this conversation to go.
What is your take on that? Like as far as look, Lamar Jackson, a killer athlete. He's gotten a lot better throwing the ball, right?
Yeah.
Is it weird taking those risks with them running as much as they do? And it just takes
you're gonna
one.
get hurt.
You're gonna get hurt and turn you into a pocket passer overnight.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it seems like Lamar has grown into that role of like when he first came in. I feel like he was like run first. Not super accurate. Now he's very dangerous.
But the people like, and obviously I want David's opinion, but like Justin Fields and those guys, it's like they want those guys to have both of it when they're really just good athletes.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, everything that you're describing about a prototypical passing quarterback is the reason that my father at a young age identified that I was going to be tall and wanted to push me into sports. Maybe this would be a position that I could excel at. And luckily, there was nothing that was going to keep me off of a football field. I was obsessed with it. And I was getting recruited at a time when guys like Scott Loeffler at Michigan wanted to have a prototypical drop back passer. Now, when I was a junior, Rich Rodriguez comes in and runs a completely different system, which pretty much guaranteed I was not going to be the starting quarterback. And I thought about transferring out, and at the end of the day, I wanted to stay and get my Michigan degree, and thought, if you stay at Michigan, you can play in the NFL if you're good enough. And if you don't make it to the NFL, it will be because you're not good enough, which was ultimately the reason that I didn't play in the league. And that was tough, too. That's tough for a lot of young men whose identity is so tied to playing the game. Yeah. But to your question, it's anytime you have an extra skill set to bring to the table in an athletic sport, that helps. And you can put defenses in a bind with your athletic ability. Now, Dan Marino and Tom Brady, very slow, by football standards, but were great in the pocket, right? And could avoid sacks and maneuver in the pocket and all those sorts of things.
Tom always seemed to find that nooks and crannies
100%.
to step up.
Which is a different way than, say, Ben Roethlisberger did it, right?
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger and Cam Newton, so much bigger than everyone, you just can't bring them down with an arm tackle if you're getting halfway blocked, right? And they can escape the pocket in different ways. Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels are such great comps for each other because they're so elusive and can really hurt you on the ground. And if there's, even an inch of space, especially against man coverage, you're able to escape the pocket because defenders' backs are turned in a way in zone coverage they're not, right? So those guys' ability to recognize those coverages and pick their moments and pick their spots on when to run is key. But there's a couple pillars. It doesn't matter if you're fast or if you're slow or if you're just a pocket passer or whatever. There's a couple pillars about the position that will never change. One is you still have to be a great leader. You have to be a leader of men out there on a field because they're all looking to you to know exactly what to do. Two is you still have to be accurate with the football. And like you said, I'm watching Lamar Jackson make throws that I can't believe it. If he ran a 5.4, he would still be a quarterback in the NFL because he's delivering the football so effectively through the air. And then third, making great decisions. And that's how Tom Brady was killing you. Knowing what you were going to do before you did it. I actually heard something recently last week about Phillip Rivers. I hope this is true. I'd like to ask Phillip Rivers about it next time I see it. He said he pointed at a defender across from at linebacker and said, "You're lined up wrong for the blitz that you're about to try and bring." He just knew the defense so good. He's saying, "Hey, you're lined up wrong."
What better way to
That's
get
awesome.
into a guy's head than
He
that?
was a trash talker. Phillip
Oh,
Rivers,
he's
he would do that
fantastic.
apparently all the time. He
is from Alabama, right? I think he was
Phillip
from
Rivers. Is he?
Alabama.
I didn't know
and,
that.
I don't know.
And he said,
I did not know that.
I think he was from Alabama.
Do you think Peyton Manning's overrated?
And on that, I want to say,
Neil,
do you think
as a singer in chicken parm, you
it's
taste
an
that
ongoing
good?
battle? So do you think Peyton Manning is in the top 10 QBs of all time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Top 3. Yeah. Top
Bam.
3. But not number
If
one.
I could drop this
But
mic,
not
I would,
number
but it's
one.
attached to the table.
It's Tommy B at number one.
We had a little.
Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees with that.
Yeah, go ahead, Tully.
Manning?
Yeah.
He's in the top 10, but not in the top 5.
Tully says he's overrated.
You're between 6 and 10.
I'm between 6 and 10, and I'll clarify what I said. What I said was, when you ask anybody, okay, who's one of the best quarterbacks ever, they automatically say, almost before Tom, it's almost like Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. Peyton's fine. He's top 10. I gave you that. He's not top 5.
All the QBs in the world since the beginning of the NFL.
But he
that's
also played for Tennessee.
Again, hey, talking about there's levels to this, right? I thought I was pretty good at one point. Peyton's fine. You know?
Peyton's fine.
Sometimes I just have to remind myself, particularly at an era where, like I said, man, guys who tie their identity to the sport and then have this lifelong dream and then don't make it, like, well, wait, what am I going to do now? Like, it hurts, man. It's tough.
I guarantee you, I was the only Alabama fan when Jalen Hurts was playing at Bama. I was the only guy in the state that said he's going to be great in the NFL. Okay. And I said it and I stuck to it. But nobody believed it because he was a great athlete.
He's a good leader, or why did you say that?
He was. You could see him.
Because he wasn't a great passer then.
Well, you could see him developing you could also tell that he wanted to learn, and he's an extremely intelligent individual. Mm-hmm. And I said he's gonna develop into a great NFL quarterback. You just watch. My brother didn't believe me. Nobody believed me, and I said he's gonna happen. MVP, Super Bowl.
You said something that I didn't say then, because I didn't think he'd be a great NFL player, not at the quarterback position. And I thought Tua was one of the best I'd ever seen, the way Tua delivered the football through the air. But everything you're talking about, all those leadership skills, and again, and I talk about this with my father-in-law, Richard, all the time because he's so hard on himself for not having won a Super Bowl. And he said, Joe got that Super Bowl in Super Bowl III, and he's like, I'm nothing because I didn't get a Super Bowl. It's so funny we were rattling off Alabama quarterback names just this week on our show and asking where you'd put Ty Simpson with, Tua and Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts and all these guys. Bryce Young, who actually won the Heisman at the position. Yeah. And, with Jalen Hurts, to have not just won the Super Bowl, but to be the MVP in a Super Bowl where he played better in the one he lost. Mm-hmm. That's what's so interesting about that game is he played better in the Super Bowl he lost, but it was the one that he won that is going to set him up forever, that he's a Super Bowl champion.
Mm-hmm. We got so much to get to. Sorry, but you mentioned Ty Simpson and that. I just got to know. Mm-hmm. Is he number one, or is it Mendoza that's going number one? Who's your guy?
For Heisman right this second?
No, number one pick for NFL draft.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. The way that Ty Simpson is delivering the football, again, through the air with the precision, and he's using this RPO, run-pass option game in a way that's just really cool to me. And they don't run it well. Like Alabama's not
Horrible
running
running
it.
game.
Like if they were running it for 220 a clip every
And
single
it's so
game,
un-Alabama-like.
You know, now he does have great receivers, right? And he has great athletes, but I've been so impressed with what he's been doing. And he's a coach's son, and he's got good coaches too. I got to give a shout out to my former roommate at Michigan, Nick Sheridan, who was the offensive coordinator a year ago, quarterback coach now. Like he's getting some great tutelage over there, and I wish nothing but the best for the kid.
Nice. There's no justice though when you're talking about Dan Marino. Dan Marino. Same number of rings as I have.
Yeah. And me.
Oh, I love Dan. It hurts my heart.
And then, but Eli and Nick Foles are running around with rings.
Trent Dilfer's got a ring.
That's right. Man,
and it's a team sport, man. You know, it's a team sport, and there's a team component to it for sure.
Well, and David, you were talking about like the players that they have everything wound up in being an athlete, and like when you were in college and you're playing at Michigan, were you still serious about school? Were you thinking like beyond that, like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to keep pursuing it, or were you actively going to classes, doing your studies, or was somebody doing your homework for you?
Are the cameras on? Well, they say, you know, we always heard, hey, school is first and football is second. There's a big visual of the cameras.
I'm going to use it.
I'm going to use it. I like that.
Honestly, playing football at Michigan at 18 years old was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. And going to school at the University of Michigan was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. And I was doing both of them at the same time. And it's just like, especially as a freshman, I'm drowning. Trying to learn speed brake Detroit right side 300 box Y stick H through a 54X slush. And there's 80 of those. There's 80 of those to know. And oh, by the way, be on class, don't be late, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, some stars on the team can get their papers written for them and they can check out, and, you know, but you got to be in class. And again, I did the best I could. I did the best I could. Not to say that I took necessarily the hardest curriculum. I had teammates of mine who were doing that and going to business school at the same time, or pre-med. And again, they were really bright guys, but I did the best that I could. And again, fell short of going to the NFL, but that whole experience helped make me a man and help prepare me for the adversity of life that just comes later as you get older.
I would have drafted you. You fit right in my mold, man.
Golly.
Right in your
you should buy a team.
I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it.
Yep. We're just
See if I
waiting
can pull the trigger on it.
We're just waiting on this podcast to take off.
Yeah.
And then that's not the first thing we're going to buy.
The song took off, man.
I'm chipping away.
I'll tell you what.
Right?
Thanks.
Man.
What happened
Congrats,
there?
man.
It's still going. It's still rocking.
Golly.
Yeah, they played that at the Aldine, and you guys played at the Patriot Awards
we
just
did it,
last week,
just a few days
and
ago.
which
Yeah,
was
that was fantastic,
incredible.
by the way.
Just watching that sounded amazing,
Thanks.
and just it was very surreal. You know, just for us, you know, just sitting home, you're just watching it, and you're like, and it's honoring Charlie Kirk, you know, a great man, and everybody was devastated, or you know, all of us were devastated by that for sure. And
That one hurt,
millions
man.
others, and I read an article that you wrote about that.
You read that
too.
article?
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
It
Thank
was
you for
really
reading
really
that.
cool.
Can you
but,
expand on that?
Well, I just felt compelled to just comment on a moment in time, and we concentrate on sports over there mostly at the Daily Wire. But when something like that happens, that just transcends. I mean, everyone was affected by that, and I just said like I didn't know Charlie Kirk personally, and not only that, but I wasn't even particularly influenced by his ideology. He was slightly younger than me in a way that, say, like Jordan Peterson or even Ben, who brought us over to the Daily Wire, was a much bigger influence on me. But just to know that for that brief moment, like evil had triumphed was the thing that sort of hit me. Because, you know, if the news came across that he had died in a car accident or from a, you know, terminal illness or something, that would have been an absolute shame, and his family would have still been without him, but it wouldn't have hit me in the same way to know that like evil in that moment had really won. So I just felt the need to write that article that you're talking about.
It was really great, and I picked up the quote you had in there, which I thought was great and true. As you said, the number of Charlie Kirks this action created is beyond measure.
Yeah, I hope that's true.
And because it really is, because you see all this turning point. You know, people are out; they can't even get in. You know, and all these young people that have been changed, and changing their direction of their lives, even though he's gone.
Yep, and I think you could see that locally. We had a vigil down in Thompson Station, and they at one point they were like, we had no idea this many people were going to come out, and that was just one of several in the area. Like Franklin had their own, every Nolensville had their own, and so again, I hope that statement is true, and I hope that people stay on it. I know I've read some articles that church attendance has skyrocketed. You know, obviously that's going to come down. Right, like that's a moment in time, but hopefully there are individuals who were so impacted by that change in them lasts a lifetime.
Yeah,
I think God,
awesome.
God knew what He was doing, taking Charlie, because I think he was such a powerful voice, but also when He called Charlie home, it's exposed some things that I think needed to be, like the darkness of people celebrating his death, and to this day they're still celebrating. Some on the left are celebrating his death, which is hard to see, but I think it had to raise awareness to the separation between the good and the bad to an extent, and I think it's hard to look at it. I think people needed to know that somebody's out there trying to do good, and then to people to see it today, even on videos, like mocking it, is really hard to look at.
Well, now that it's happened and it's in the past, whether or not Charlie Kirk becomes a martyr is on us. Like, we're the ones who control that. We're the ones who can martyrize him and martyrize that message. And again, I just did what little part that I could, writing an article or speaking about it now. I mean, the part that hurts the most is knowing that his kids, because I have 3 small children right now, knowing that they'll never get to hear his message personally. I mean, they can listen to every podcast he's ever done, but you're not going to know your father. Like, that hits hard and that hurts. So it's our job to make sure that his message is martyrized.
Yeah,
Amen.
And the Patriot Awards, that was a great event.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, because we hadn't talked since you played.
Obviously, that room is a great room to be in, but it was really neat.
It was awesome, and I watched it last year, and I was kind of like, Patriot Awards, But this year definitely hit different with Charlie. And then, just as they singled all those people out, man, we were backstage. We got to meet those guys that they were honoring. It was humbling.
It was so humbling. The whole night, it felt like a celebration for Charlie. It felt bigger than just maybe like usual.
Good.
Right? But one really funny thing happened. So we were, we played like 2 songs, and before we played the second song, our production manager comes up and goes, "Hey guys, after you play this second song, don't leave your stools. Just sit in your stools, and they're going to play a video. Don't move. So we play the second song, and we finish it, and we're sitting there. And then Hannity comes out, and he's like,
you can tell he's like
confused.
He's like, well, when are these guys going to leave?
He's asking us, like, do you guys want to play another one?
He literally comes over on the mic, and says, are you guys going to play another song?
And we're looking him up. We're told not to move. Don't ever trust a production manager is the point of the story. We sat there like idiots. Earl. And Hannity's like, okay, guys.
These guys won't get off the stage. I don't know what to do.
Did y'all exit the stage?
We finally did exit the stage while he's talking. Yeah, and we're walking behind him in the camera shot.
At that point, you just got to make it as awkward as possible.
It was.
They start blinking the lights on and off.
Aldean's looking at me like, I said, damn, I don't know. We were told to sit here like idiots. We sat there.
That's funny.
Sean was so confused. He comes out every now and then, like when in Florida.
He's great.
He comes out.
He's a fan. He's
a great guy.
You know what goes great with small town stories?
Original Glory, America's beer right here.
I've been drinking this every songwriting session today.
Man, that clean, crisp taste reminds me of summer nights on the back porch after a fresh mowed lawn.
And they're just not making great beer. They're investing in America's small towns.
Well, it's just like us. They believe in bringing communities together.
Not only do they invest in communities, but a portion of each sale goes to the veterans and the first responders and all the heroes that protect us.
For a limited time, you can become a member of the OG fam and invest in this beer at wefunder.com/original brands.
Join our Original Glory family and help ignite that Original Glory spirit.
My name is Glenn Story. I'm the founder and CEO of Patriot Mobile. And then we have 4 principles. First Amendment, Second Amendment, right to life, military and first responders. If you have a place to go put your money, you always want to put it with somebody that's like-minded.
Of course.
I think that's the beauty of Patriot Mobile. We're a conservative alternative.
Don't get fooled by other providers pretending to share your values or have the same coverage. Go to patriotmobile.com/smalltown to get a free month of service when you use the offer code SMALLTOWN or call 972-PATRIOT.
I want to know about y'all's podcast. I want to hear more about that.
Craning Company?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, we just put out an Alabama-Oklahoma preview yesterday, which I think you should check
I haven't seen that one.
I think you should check that out.
Because that's going to be a good one, because
I
that
know, I'm
Oklahoma
nervous.
defense is legit.
They are legit, and it
crushed
was a really
Tennessee,
impressive
obviously.
win at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Red River loss, 3
tough.
interceptions, Texas trying
Still
their best
hurts.
to hang in this thing, But again, just talking about college football, with my experience having played the game, and my two co-hosts, Jake and Blaine Crane, their father was an All-American linebacker at Auburn.
So they didn't play, but their family.
Their dad was an
players.
All-American linebacker at Auburn. Jake played baseball at South Alabama and then coached
And they
college
coached,
football.
yeah.
Blaine was a wide receiver, I think, at Western Colorado,
wow.
and then
Okay.
also coached. And they had some time where they overlapped. And again, look, when I got done playing football at the University of Michigan, I moved back to Georgia in Atlanta, which is my home state, but still 3.5 hours from Statesboro, where I'm from. And I got into video production and writing songs, and that's what I was focused on. And a lot of sports companies really liked my football playing career because I was able to navigate sets and direct actors and run productions and such. So 11 years I was producing videos, and I met these brothers, and Jake, when COVID hit, they were told, hey, you can't come back and coach right now, we don't know what's going on, we got to figure this whole thing out. And so I got introduced to them through a marketing executive. Hey, they got this college football podcast that they're starting in their free time from coaching football. You played college football, you're a video producer, they want to be on video, you guys should meet. Well, it was a lot like a band, to be honest, in the way that it just came together authentically and it was organic. And not too long after I started producing their show for them, Colin Cowherd called from The Volume, and we were like the SEC football show for Colin's new venture, The Volume. That's awesome. And then within like 3 months of that, man, Ben called himself. Ben Shapiro called and said, I love y'all's show. We want a sports show at the Daily Wire. Would you consider moving to Nashville? And as someone who already, was writing songs and who wanted to move here for a long time anyway, and more importantly, wanted to get involved in the culture fight and defend what's going on in our society, I jumped at the opportunity, and we've been here for 4 years.
What was the jump? Because you were producing videos and stuff like that initially for those guys, right? For Crane, and how did you become a part of it and not just producing and directing and shooting and stuff?
Because we needed to be live. So honestly, really what changed the whole trajectory of my career was going from tape to needing to be live, because I had multiple clients at that time that I was producing videos for. And again, I had just gotten married, just bought my first house. COVID hit 3 months after I got married.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, man, I'm going to go bankrupt 3 months in. What is going on here? Yeah. Luckily, I picked up some medical clients that year, and I did pretty well and was doing good with video production clients. But when I met these guys, I thought, okay, I can produce their show a couple hours a week, right? It was interview-based, pre-recorded, drop it on YouTube. But Colin wanted us to be a live show, live every day, which means I need to be there in person. And Jake would talk to me and ask me questions, and I needed to have like a camera to be able to talk back to him and to answer while I'm technically directing everything, kind of like what's going on over here.
Don't give Jim any ideas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, don't give Jim any ideas.
Jim's over there like, yeah, keep talking. Keep talking, Dave. Love this.
It helped that Michigan was good at football. Like Jim Harbaugh was making the college football playoff that year for the first time. And so, again, talking about the band experiences, it would be kind of like if a person had written a song, they wanted to sing a song, and they needed someone to produce it, but then the producer had to play every instrument, and you needed to go do a live show, and the producer got to play one of the instruments. That's kind of like how it started. And again, with having played at the University of Michigan, and Michigan made 3 college football playoffs in a row, it kind of all fell into place, and I think we got a good dynamic going now.
That's awesome. It is.
That's really cool.
I was checking it out. It's really good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. And of course, you've mentioned it a couple times, and I hate that we've waited this long to get to it, but let's get to the music stuff.
We don't know anything about that.
No.
Liars.
But see, the thing is, it's like, God, we're all sports geeks, so we love talking sports.
Yeah.
But obviously music is our home base.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Richest Man in Town, the Richest Man in Town, which I don't know if you guys listened to it. You see the way he hooked it?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Thank you, man.
Did you write it by yourself?
I did. I wrote every song on there by myself.
Dude.
Yeah.
Greedy.
And,
I hate him already.
Which I mean, again, and I actually, this is what I was telling you earlier. I have my first write scheduled this week with Michael Delaney, who said to tell you. I got Michael and I. We met.
He's
we
amazing.
We got this write scheduled this week, which I'm really excited about. And it was an hour after we scheduled that Renee here from the Daily Wire PR said you're going on Try That in a Small Town podcast that same week. So
awesome.
a big week from the.
She told
music.
you were coming on here, or did she ask you to come?
No, she said you're going.
You're
This is
going.
what time
I like
you're
it.
going.
I like Renee. I like her already.
Renee too.
Thank you very
No,
much.
she's the best. She's the best. But anyway, like I said, I mean, just going all the way back from music for me, there was always great music on in my house. My parents, there were three main pillars for us, which was classic country. So Hank Sr., Hank Jr., Waylon, Marty Robbins, even Dolly Parton, Tammy Wynette on the female side. There was traditional rock and roll, so a lot of Elvis Presley, Everly Brothers, Chuck Berry, Buddy Holly. And then there was a big folk element, too. My dad really loved Peter, Paul, and Mary and Bob Dylan and Gordon Lightfoot, that kind of stuff. So that was sort of my upbringing from a musical standpoint. And then when it got to football in high school and college, it was all hip-hop. All the time. I mean, you're at practice and games, and and so it was. And honestly, that's where I started writing music, because the lyrics to that were easier. I didn't have to play an instrument. You got beats and instrumentals and stuff. And then the Red Hot Chili Peppers were kind of a band that was kind of a bridge, because I'll tell you this: when I was playing football at Michigan, they had a huge speaker on the golf cart to simulate away game noise, right? And we're running a third down drill, and they're blaring "Can't Stop" over the speakers. And I went back and asked them, like, what is that song? And they're like, oh, this is Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm like, that sounds pretty good, And next day, the same thing. We got a third down drill. I'm trying to concentrate. They start blaring "Snow" over the speakers. Who is this band? They said, this is Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm like, well, I mean, I got to listen to them at this point. And John Mayer had just come out with Continuum at that time, and this was around the time when I was like, okay, you're not going to play in the NFL. So I started teaching myself how to play guitar off YouTube, and John Frusciante and John Mayer were some huge influences. And then I got into their influences of Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix and Clapton and all this. It didn't take too long until I realized, like, okay, you're not going to be as good of a guitar player as these guys. But I got to use the instrument for what I really wanted to do, which was write songs. And there were some critical songs at that period, like Laughed Until We Cried. I mean, I remember hearing that song.
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Are you just buttering him up?
Are you buttering up to Caleb?
That's enough.
He wrote
Kalo admitted.
Okay. Dude, laughed. I'm telling you, I did, and that was one I didn't even know you.
Hold
wrote.
on, cancel this show.
Never mind.
Wait, Dave, go on. Don't jump ship so quickly.
Okay, laughed until
So,
we
David,
cried.
let's talk about some movies real quick.
Laughed Until We Cried. I was like, man, that's. But There Goes My Life.
Yeah.
Was another one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, they would fall into a category that I have, which I call I Wish I Wrote Them. And just like, man, you can tell a story that great. And so those were a couple songs early on that I just really kind of got me back into the country music, southern rock type vibe. Creedence. Eagles wasn't an influence growing up in our household, but I found the Eagles later. And so that whole sound kind of, when I moved to Nashville, and I wanted to be on record for what I think our country needs and what's wrong in our country. And so that's why I wrote Just What America Needs and American Made and Get Off My Lawn and some of those songs. So anyway, a bunch of new material that I wrote when I was here. Went back and rewrote some material from Atlanta that either wasn't finished or some ideas like that. And I met Kent Wells, Dolly Parton's producer, and he took a chance on me and said yes, which he's like, hey, I want to produce some of this material. And in a town and in an industry where you hear no so much, it felt really good to like hear yes and to work with him. And so cutting that album, I got to work with some of the best session guys in the world who you guys probably hang out with all the time. But just being a part of that process and hearing them play on songs that I had written was it was a real honor. And I hope people are enjoying the music in some way or another.
What's your strength in the writing room? Like, is it ideas? Is it lyric, melody?
Dude, he writes it all by himself.
You do everything.
Triple threat,
Have you ever coded?
You listen and you tell me if there are any strengths.
All right. I haven't listened to the music piece yet.
I'd like to know, what you guys think. But "Richest Man in Town" is an example of a song that I'm leaving Daily Wire Studios, driving home, probably right here, probably right by Cool Springs is when, and you got these internal monologues, and one hit me, "Richest Man in Town," and I thought all the way home, I thought, okay, I want to list everything in this song that makes me rich that has nothing to do with money, right? And it all started with my wife. She's incredible, and we got 3 babies, and just that whole song began to take shape. And I knocked that out over the course of that weekend, and that ended up becoming like the lead single off of what the title or the title.
Yeah, and it's like, how does he set it up? It's like not counting the money. I'm the richest.
If you don't count the money,
if you don't count the money, I mean,
double
that's
entendre.
great.
Yeah. Which I had an opportunity to play that for Jeffrey Steele with the Bring Your Own Guitar. I went over there, and that was cool too, being able to play that for him. I think he liked that song as well. But yeah, I'd love to know what y'all's feedback.
Yeah, I want to dig in and listen to that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
Interesting. Wow. Laugh till we cried. Always makes an appearance.
Somehow.
Did you not
Somehow.
know you were okay?
I didn't.
You totally
Which I'm
know.
kind of, which I'm a little bit. Which I'm a little bit ashamed of, because I wanted to look up like all the songs that you guys had written before I came in. I don't know how I missed that one.
Well, but we're even, because I haven't listened to your music yet. So, but I'm going to. But I'm intrigued. I want to listen to it now.
Now, who did you write "Laughed Until I Cried" with?
It's Ashley Gorley. He's a decent.
Yeah.
So he may have contributed some to that work. But anyway, no, I'm kidding. He's the biggest, most successful songwriter of all time.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, I love that. I love that song. There Goes My Life, like I said. I'll tell you what, She Ain't Right, man. That's a great song.
Yeah, we were just this much too early with Lee Bryce on that one.
What do you mean?
It should have been a hit, and it almost was.
Okay.
But like right after that single, he blew up.
Gotcha. I love that song, man. I
Thank
really
you.
do.
I do too. I didn't make any money on it.
So
No? None? How's that possible? I listened to it 20 times on the way here.
yeah, but you probably listened on Spotify.
His none is somebody
So you
else's
get a couple
$40,000.
penny. You get a penny.
Half a penny.
It's rough. It's only going to get worse with artificial intelligence and all that. But anyway,
we've been there before.
It's a dark time. So who's your, like, as far as country goes, like, who's some of your favorites? Like your artists that you either grew up really liking or like now? Who's sticking out?
There's so many, man. I love Hank Williams Jr. I just love the way he writes songs. I love the way he plays. And talk about try that in a small town. There was an element of him going way back.
100%.
Merle Haggard, too. Not afraid to say anything. I really loved Merle
My
and Waylon
favorite
Jennings.
of all time, Haggard.
Haggard's your favorite? What's your favorite song?
No, he's my favorite voice.
Okay.
He's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
I still think Waylon is underappreciated in all of it.
You think so?
I still, he's one of my favorites, like classic guys, and I still feel like if you're, he's still, people love him, but I still feel like he's the one that gets the least amount of recognition out of those outlaw crew. You know what I mean? I just love
Not in our household, man. He was getting played all the time.
Oh yeah.
Because Lonesome on Your Knee and that stuff, it's just, that was so tough. I remember thinking when I was younger, listening to that, it was tough sounding music. Mm-hmm. It was tough. It got you going. I really love Waylon for that.
And my dad had me listening to Buddy Holly at a young age too,
dude.
and knowing that Waylon had played guitar, for Buddy, and the whole day the music died, not being on the plane crash and all that kind of stuff, just kind of added to the aura, I think, of Waylon in our household too.
Buddy Holly was one of my first. We just talking about it coming home the other day on the plane, talking about Aldine. Used to play those songs, like all those songs, like huge Buddy Holly fan.
Yeah, me too.
Just great music, and think about what he did. And I remember, and he died so young.
Yeah.
And I remember playing in Lubbock. The first time we ever played Lubbock, the arena is like literally right across the street from the Buddy Holly Museum. I remember like running off the bus and going right to that museum and just being like, wow, this is. The songs are still amazing. They're still and the way he was playing guitar. You remember when this was the 50s? It's like, man,
your knowledge of music history is pretty impressive.
Really impressive.
It's pretty impressive because you're not that old.
No, but that all comes from my family and my dad. My dad just loved.
But you care. You can tell that you care and you dig.
I mean, he had me listening to Hank Sr. and Marty Robbins at a very young age. Elvis. He was taking us to Everly. he was taking our whole family to Everly Brothers shows growing up, and this was
man,
the tail end of their career. But I'm in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky, going to see the Everly Brothers, which Waylon, I think, was supposed to play that show and couldn't. It was my dad said I never got to see Waylon because he was sick that trip. But no, I love that music. And then on the contemporary side, I mean, Zach Brown has been a big influence. I really enjoy the way that they write songs and the harmonies that they sing with, and so a number of influences.
It's awesome that we talk about this a lot in the show, that it seems like a lot of young artists today, young or new artists, don't really have an appreciation for what and who came before them. Songwriter-wise,
that's disappointing.
Songs.
Right.
You seem to have a really good knowledge and appreciation for it, which is really refreshing, because I don't think that's really the case.
And respect for it.
Yeah. And the influences that you're
true.
drawing from. It's, we talk about it a lot, how the young artists today just won't name names. But
we can name.
Yeah,
names.
No, it's fine.
I will name names.
I have recently. I know we do talk about a lot of people that young artists that we write with. That like usually I'll Google somebody. Like if I'm writing with somebody the next day, and I don't know their name, I Google it, see what are they doing, and I just have some sort of idea. And a lot of times you realize in the first few minutes that they haven't done the same. They're like, I wonder what this old guy. Why'd he move to town? Lately I've had two back-to-back new artists that hadn't been in town that long, and they had both looked stuff up, and they're so young, which makes you feel older, but they're very respectful.
Good.
Said, dude, man, I really love this, and this. This is amazing. So it's just kind of fun to hear.
Bringing
that,
it back to like how playing quarterback and playing football sort of like influenced me and set me up. Like that sort of stuff is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the like imagine walking into a quarterback meeting and you haven't prepped for like the game plan or what you're doing. I mean, there are physical consequences to that. Forget like getting yelled at or doing a bad job, which that would be bad enough. Like there are physical consequences, which is why I think playing that game is so important for young men. But yeah, just not having an appreciation for the industry that you're going to be in to me is absolutely unacceptable.
We come across it all the time.
Do you really?
Oh yeah,
with people who have success?
It's like a new quarterback going to getting drafted first round, and somebody mentions Dan Marino's name, and he's like, "Who? Who's Dan?"
No.
He doesn't know who Dan Marino. It's the same equivalent almost.
Well, everybody's got those stories too. I remember talking with Don Mattingly, came out this last year. Great, baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, Mattingly's hit machine, and he's a coach up there in Toronto, and they're having a good year. And I was talking to Don. I'm like, man, the young guys must just eat you up for information, like tips, because he's not even the hitting coach up there. He's like one of the bench coaches, And I'm saying they must go like crazy. Don Mattingly's, every day, and he goes, a couple of them do, but most guys don't know who I am.
It's amazing.
See, and I'm like,
that blows.
Like, how is that
amazing.
possible?
Yeah. How is that possible?
It doesn't seem possible, but we run into it every day, like young artists. Like,
Meanwhile,
what do you do?
when I was recording the Richest Man in Town album, I'm singing through the microphone that Dolly just got done singing through. So I'm like reminding myself, like, okay, Dolly Parton had the morning session here at Kent Wells' studio this morning. I'm the next person to sing through this microphone, and like I don't take that for granted. That was such an awesome opportunity. I'm reminding myself, oh yeah, one of the first great songs that my dad introduced me to was Coat of Many Colors. As I'm singing through a microphone, and I got to record at Blackbird one time in Stapleton. I just recorded like through one of those Neumann microphones or something, and like that stuff means something to me.
Yeah,
that's really awesome to
It's
hear
amazing.
that.
I'm tickled to death that you know your history and that you know where it started and where it came from, and that you care about it.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, I just love great music and great songs, and this town has, provided that. And that's why I meant at the beginning, like, you guys have, all the work that y'all have done has been truly an inspiration, and we're all standing on the shoulders of people who came before us trying to tell great stories.
That's why my back hurts.
Well, I wanted to ask you, just because you're
kicking too much.
You're obviously a sharp dude and good at a lot of things, but like you're very quick, like when you're doing your basketball bracket in 60 seconds and stuff like that. It's like stuff you already know. You're reading some of it, but some of it's just coming out. And then the betting stuff that you talk about, I've always kind of wanted to dabble in the betting stuff, but I don't understand it because it's so in my head. So if you were at a bar and you had this guy who's who's just kind of a cheeser, and he's talking about betting and how much he knows and stuff like that, what would you say to intimidate him?
Wow, good question. I like
roll
it.
off something.
I know, right?
All that stuff you roll off is this, Oregon minus 27.5, something like that. Roll out something that would just blow his mind.
Man, we'd have to put you together a nice little parlay this weekend. Like maybe we just take Alabama money line, and maybe we take Georgia minus 6.5 this weekend against Texas. We parlay those together. And
are those actual things that I should be
Wait a minute.
What was the first one?
Brought to you by our sponsor. Man, but the gambling stuff, I hope we don't go down a dark path.
Well, how do we not go down a dark path?
You see it right now with the NBA. I mean, these guys are getting accused of
and the pitchers,
removing yourself from games, so your prop bet under hits. What allegedly? I'm gonna make sure.
We'd be fools to think that stuff doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised at all in the NBA. I just feel like the league's been heading down a terrible direction for a long time.
But see, and the prop bets is where you can't. I mean, it's not just throwing games. The prop bets is
what's a prop bet?
Prop bet is like he's going to score more than 10 points tonight or not.
An individual player bet, which you can't do for college football in the state of Tennessee. But if you wanted to take, we were talking about Ty Simpson. If you want to say Ty Simpson will throw over 2.5 touchdowns today, you have the half there that's a hook, right? So that you can't tie. You either throw 2 or you throw 3.
Right.
And so you could make that bet, or you could have rushing yard props. I mean, you can bet on the coin flip now.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Bet on anything.
How many sips of Gatorade will?
Yeah, what color is the Gatorade that gets thrown on the coach after a win?
Well, a couple of pitchers.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Like there were 2 pitchers, right, that got fined because they determined that they threw pitches into the dirt because people were betting.
See, like how do you
unacceptable?
That?
That's the shoeless Joe Jackson Black Sox stuff from back in the day.
Right.
Oh my God.
And they're already making millions.
See, that's the thing. I'm talking like the shoeless Joe Jackson stuff. I was talking about this with Ben Shapiro the other day on my show, The Film Room, because we were talking about great baseball movies. That was at an era when you don't care enough about the integrity of the game or your teammates to do the right thing. But at least they weren't making millions and millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Now you don't care enough about the integrity of the game or your teammates or the millions of dollars. You're making more than doctors make, man, but you need to hit your prop bet under so you remove yourself early from a game. Like, again, back to the word of unacceptable. Maybe that's the word of the day.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then it even makes you feel worse for Pete Rose.
Oh, stupid.
At least he was betting on himself.
Is that proven?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good question.
You sound like my co-host now.
Look,
the thing is, he didn't do it as a player.
No, he didn't do it as a player. And if he was betting, it was on his team to win.
So you're just talking about should he be in the Hall of Fame or not, which we all agree. I think, of course, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Of course he should be. And it's just heartbreaking that you knew they were going to wait for him to pass away in some form or another before they let him in. I mean, you talk about 8 Men Out, the Shoeless Joe thing, or Pete. I mean, yeah, he's betting on baseball. The lifetime ban, it pretty harsh. I still hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is the all-time hits leader.
Yeah.
Never, videos of him like steamrolling catchers in the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. The guy, you can't argue that he played hard.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine with institutions having a ethical benchmark beyond just what you do on the field and them standing by it for right or wrong or whatever they say that is. If they say you can't gamble and play this sport and then you do that and they say the penalty for that is you're never going to be in our Hall of Fame. We don't care if you had the most home runs or the most hits or you can't inject yourself with steroids and you did that. I'm fine with that. The problem is then, okay, so after he dies though, then we're going to go back on our word, and now he can be in the Hall of Fame. So that part's weird to me.
It just feels like
This is a whole nother episode.
Yeah, we're
I'm happy to come back.
We're going to have maybe like as a
the gambling thing, NIL, all of that.
That's a whole episode.
On your show, do you guys, is it strictly sports, or you get into the politics of sports?
Well, it's sports? It's morphed over time, and there's been different segments.
Do you talk about the WNBA?
Yes,
Because we do.
It's very humorous.
yeah, and you guys,
Hey, that's-
you guys
that-
do not like it.
That
Yeah.
leads me into a lot of things we've talked about.
Oh, I had a segment on the show for a long time called "Get Off My Lawn," where I would just rant about the most ludicrous sports thing from the week, which led to the "Get Off My Lawn" song. I said, if I got a segment "Get Off My Lawn," I got to write a song "Get Off My Lawn," which I'd like you guys to listen to that one and tell me what your thoughts are.
Absolutely.
Or
I already like it.
WNBA, get off my screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they're forcing us with it.
We
Like, it's
can't say
terrible.
enough bad things.
We
about the
talked a lot
WNBA.
about the
I do.
messaging.
I will tell you this though about the highlights. They are entertaining.
Hold on. The high.
You know when they're like, you know, the air balls and the constant layups.
But my
being
favorite
missed.
thing is like you go to an Instagram reel and it's 2 minutes long, and it was like in the championship game or something. Air ball on this one. They go to the other side. Dribbles off her leg. Back her leg. Air ball. It's 2 minutes of
I mean, they
Bad News
they
Bears.
can compile a lot of bad stuff to really make it look bad.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
we don't go out of our way. Like we want to talk about sports. It's society's commentary on it that we
Right.
feel like we need to commentate on it. You know, which is why like I feel like when I was growing up in the 90s and 2000s, if people called themselves Democrats and people who called themselves Republicans, they both wanted what was best for America. They just disagreed on what that was.
Right.
When Donald Trump got elected, and particularly into COVID, I started to realize there's a faction of this country that actually doesn't want an America to exist.
Yes.
I don't just mean hyperbolically. I mean, they fundamentally disagree with the concept of a nation state that has borders, and within those borders, a people. Even if those citizens are a melting pot, like America is. So, like, I just looked at my wife and was like, how much longer can I go until I have to get involved and use my voice? And I was running a video production company. I had clients, a lot of whom may agree with me, but still not be able to do business with me if I voice that. It was only a few months after that's when Ben called and said, would you guys move to Nashville? Wow. And you don't have to talk about anything controversial. You don't have we love your show. And, you know, we felt compelled like, hey, let's go do this. Let's take this chance. And when I got here, that's also why I produced songs like Just What America Needs and American Made, because I wanted to be on record for what I thought this country needed, which is kind of very similar to what you guys did with Try That in a Small Town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think,
I
I
love that.
don't know if it's unfortunately, but you're right. You kind of have to draw your line in the sand if you believe what we believe, because you're going to hate yourself if you don't. You have to speak out, and I think it's part of the reason why we started the podcast is because, shoot, we all got kids too, and it's like you have to be an example. I am Charlie Kirk, going back to your quote and that thing. It's like that's all of us.
Well, never, and I don't think our history, not to be overly dramatic about it, has never been a time where it's been more clear what side you need to be on. There's the middle ground's gone. It feels like it's extremes. You know, you can go down the list of stuff. You know, where it's like it's never been more clear to me. It's common sense or not, because a lot of the stuff that, you know, I'll say the other side, the left, whatever, it's comical. It's like, guys, this isn't even reality. You know, men in girls' bathrooms. Come on, what are we doing? The border is crazy. I mean, Obama wanted a strong border, so there's no argument here. You're just wanting to destroy America. Yeah, you don't like the family unit. You know, you don't like borders. You don't like our country. It's to me, it's like it's not even a choice. But you got, to your point, you got to say something, because you know. Otherwise, what are we doing?
You know, at some point, it's kind of like you're playing a game of Monopoly, and someone just wants to flip the board over, right? Like, forget trying to win the game.
Why do they want to flip the board over?
Flip the board over to ruin it for everyone else. There's a level of resentment that's driving it, and I think you may have said it on the episode when you guys talked about writing the song for the first time, and you said, well, there's only one way to write this concept, and it's to go all in, and 99% of people in this town, writers, wouldn't write it this way.
They wouldn't have written it.
No. And that's kind of, I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like, if you're going to voice your opinion, there's kind of only one way to be all in on some of these subjects.
Yeah, and generally, like, I mean, for the longest time, really, and before Aldine, you know, put out Try That in Small Town, you also had people, you know, you got Charlie Kirk, you've got, you know, Fox News, you got people that are standing up for the right and speaking out, but the right, and especially if you're the Christian right, it's like, oh, let's just be nice and get along with everybody and everything will be fine. Well, that's not working, and so you have people that actually have the strength to come out and say, you know what, I'm not going to let this country, I'm going to fight for it. I'm just going to let it happen. And, so.
Yeah, that's why I was so proud about the response from the death of Charlie Kirk, watching Christians just say, like, this hurts really, really badly. But you know what we're going to do? Instead of going to the local town and tearing it down or destroying it, let's get together in our communities for candlelight vigils. Let's go to church on Sunday morning. Let's see if we can get someone in church who wasn't there last week. That sort of response that we've seen the last few weeks and months, I think is really important. And like I said before, it's our job to make sure that continues on now.
Yeah.
That made it very clear to me too. Like Neil's been saying this for months and months, about the spiritual war that we're in, and he's right. It's like after Charlie passed and how it was handled on one side, it's like we are. It's like it feels like God is. It shouldn't for us. It's like never a choice. Like God. I mean, yeah, God. Of course. How can you exist without God? And feels like an impossibility. But there's a whole part of the country that is like that, and it's hard to watch. But Charlie's death, it just made a lot of things so clearer than they've ever been.
Sure,
really.
But look at all of us doing our part here. I mean, this show didn't exist a while ago, based off a song that didn't exist. I wasn't doing what I'm doing professionally, voicing. I mean, you guys are touring all over the country, sharing a message and sharing great songs. So, I mean, as long as we keep doing this, I think America will win.
Yeah. The only reason I came on this podcast, though, the only interest I had in this is because there's women refs in the NFL.
Is that right? Yeah. I thought
it's the only reason I wanted to do this.
Here, I thought that. Yeah. I wonder if Neil's only doing this because they mandate a female ref.
And I want to know your thoughts on that.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And if
my brother,
if the women were the best referee, all we want is good refereeing. That's all I want. Yeah. I'd rather have the game officiated perfectly than it be a man doing it. Wouldn't we all agree with that?
Yes.
I feel like if that means an all-female crew, brother, I'll take an all-female crew every day so that they can officiate the game perfectly. But this forced affirmative action and DEI component to it is so silly. And I know you guys were bringing this up a little bit with Kirk Herbstreit, the difference between the NFL and college football. I grew up in a household that loved both. My dad was a Dolphins fan, but I grew up in a very small southern town where college football was king. So I appreciated both, but over time, you can tell that there is this corporate entity, this corporate interest and global interest that's driving the NFL, and that's one example of it. In a way that maybe the same is true for college football. It's got plenty of problems. It's got plenty of problems that need solutions, but at least there still is this regional and local aspect to college football that is kind of part of some of the problems, which also is the appeal, right?
I actually do agree with that. Yeah. Because the NFL is, well, they're both huge business, but there is a lot of...
It takes all of us, Kurt.
Hey, Neil, choose love, Neil.
It takes all of us.
Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Talking about Bob Baumhauer and Richard Todd and Jack Tatum and all these great NFL guys. I saw a reel on X yesterday that was a promotional reel for the NFL in the 70s that had blood dripping down the arms, grabbing a face mask, ripping them off. Every single shot would have been a penalty in today's game.
Right.
And so, again, I understand there's an aspect to wanting, I don't even want to say making the game safer, unnecessarily putting guys in harm's way when it comes to cognitive concussion stuff. I understand that. There's a way to go about that, and certainly developing new technology for equipment that I have a deep appreciation for. I played the sport. I'm glad that, I didn't take so many hits that I'm cognitively, I might be cognitively.
I was going to say,
you guys tell me.
Let us be the judge.
But a softening of the sport that just makes it not what it is anymore. And it's not for entertainment purposes. This is what I always say about football. I don't care about the guy who's sitting on his couch watching to be entertained, who's eating potato chips. This is about giving young men an opportunity to go showcase what they're capable of on a field and face adversity. And the more you soften the game at every single level, the more of an opportunity you're taking away from them to do that.
Amen.
What's the most woke professional league? NFL, NBA or NHL? Like, what would
Not,
be the
that ain't not the NHL.
It ain't
There's
NHL.
gotta
That's what I was
be-
gonna say.
There's got to be the WNBA, right?
Yeah. Well,
Would you say the
that's a
NHL? I'm
given.
watching the Stanley Cup. I'm watching the Stanley Cup Finals, and they cut away because the
I
finals
didn't
was
see that.
during June or whatever. Was it?
Oh, you're
I
talking
won't
about
let them
this.
co-op an entire month but there is a month that
Right.
gets
Yeah, yeah.
associated. They run a rainbow, a gay
Yeah.
pride thing during the anyway.
I thought y'all were talking about like on the court, on the ice.
Well,
like-
NBA does that.
Oh
But
no!
the
those dudes
NFL
are grown men.
Yeah.
Hockey,
That would-
man,
that
and
would
which
not be
coming
good.
from the South, I never really watched hockey until I went to Michigan, and I realized, oh wait, they like this as much as football.
No, that's-
Yeah.
and those are grown men playing that
Oh,
sport.
there ain't
man.
Maybe there could be a thing like if you're like a trans athlete, maybe that should be the test. Like if you want to swim and you're biological man and you're trans athlete and you're becoming a woman, then you make them go through hockey first. And if
Why
you
won't they let them do contact sports?
and then if
First
you can
off,
do
that's
that,
a good idea.
if you
Second
can do
off,
that and
That is a good
survive,
idea.
What is
I
a
know,
trans
I'm like,
athlete?
contact, let's go.
What's
Let's-
a trans athlete? Because I don't even acknowledge the term. Like I'm just gotten to the point where I'm like,
Yeah, good for
okay,
you.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
like a man who wants to be a woman. Okay, you're a man then.
Did the
Yeah.
Olympics
Yeah.
finally
I
start?
they're still fighting.
and
it.
look, I'm proud to
I
say,
don't know.
like,
I heard something.
to talking about like what is our sports show. Again, it's ebbed and flows. There's been different iterations, but I'm very proud to say that we got Riley Gaines on at a time before she was internationally known, and she's been very good to us, and we've created a friendship with her, just trying to highlight her story. Because again, so much of this is about the terminology that we use and what we cede to the other side, and I refuse to do it, man.
I won't do
Especially
it
as
either.
the father of 2 young daughters right
Yeah.
now, I'm not doing it.
They
changes
still
things.
call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn on Fox,
And again, if
and I'm like,
people
what are
change
you
their name-
doing? I'm like, I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Well,
like,
if
they-
people
he's
can
not
change their
competing,
name,
though.
if
I
they
know,
want to
but
change their
still
name,
call
whatever.
They still call him Caitlyn, even though they know how insane it is. They still call him Caitlyn.
I think he might be going back to Bruce.
That's what I would
Is
do.
he?
It looks like
I
it.
hope so.
He needs to. Yeah. I think that's his best bet at this age.
Yeah,
just to go
but
back to
I guess
Bruce.
my point is you can't have both. You can't be against the woke world and be against and speak against all that, but yet you're still calling them by their wanted name. It's not their real name, and you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
it still drives me crazy. I'm like,
yeah. On the name thing, it's like
We call you
could-
Thrash.
I know.
Is that what they call you,
Yeah.
Thrash? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you lost any?
At least it's masculine.
Yeah, I like that. Have you lost any bets from female refs?
No, no. I just want to see a female ref break up a fight.
No,
between
I
two
do
linemen.
feel though that
That's what I want to
they
see.
always have. She always has her hand on the flag, ready to pull it.
Just random, or is there one?
She's angry.
female ref?
She's grumpy. Flag.
She's
Holding,
what-
not holding enough. He's not holding me enough.
What
Sorry.
about because some at this table are against it, like female sports commentators on football. Do you care? Do you mind if that, like, as long as they're,
I got to back up from the mic real quick.
because
Hey, we have
there's a
Michelle
few that don't
Tafoya
like that.
on, who's awesome.
Yeah, but
Well, again,
she's a
commentators or
sideline
sideline reporters, or I mean,
not
like,
play by play.
there's some.
I think they were talking about, because I tried to qualify it. I said, well, the sideline reporters, if they're female, to me it seems like it'd be easier to get the coaches to come over to you, as opposed to a guy, But I think you guys said you don't really like a female sports commentator talking about the
I
game
don't
of
like-
football.
I don't
right?
like the play-by-play.
Yeah, neither.
I don't
Or even
either.
the color, because like if you're talking about football, like if
Well,
you've never played the game,
Exactly.
Yeah,
If you've never played,
as opposed to
how can you relate if you've never played?
Yeah.
yeah, as
Kind of
opposed
like
to
a
Brady
song plugger
calling
pitching
it.
songs where they're never written.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
don't even.
That
No,
never
there's song
happens.
pluggers that don't even like country music.
One of my
It's
biggest
country music.
issues.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll sit there and they'll say, I don't know if that's hooked right or the second verse isn't right. Well, Howard,
yeah, it's not a hit.
show me the songs you've written. Yeah, it's not a hit.
Exactly.
Again,
frustrating.
I get back to the point, like anyone who has earned a position in a meritocratic way, like based off merit, this is what I'm good at. I'm the best of the best and I've earned this position. Like I can get on board with that. It's this forced affirmative
That's
action
all it is.
aspect
Yeah, yeah.
to
That's all
it,
it is.
to appease people, to your point, to appease people who don't even really love the sport.
Yep.
You know, like, I love the sport, man. Like, and this is one of the criticisms that I have for Roger Goodell in particular. I just feel like in an attempt to globalize the product, even to the point of wanting to send the Super Bowl overseas, he's so desperate to have an overseas Super Bowl so that they can make more money internationally, and having Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl and all this kind of stuff. In an effort to do that, he would gladly sell out any one of us who grew up loving the sport, who helped build the league into what it is, in a way that I don't feel is the same for someone like Dana White, right? Yeah. Who has an international sport. Right. I mean, Dana's flying, hosting UFC events all over the country. I've gotten to know him a little bit these last few years through Power Slap and through some of the things that we've done with Jeremy's Razors sponsorships over there at Daily Wire. I never feel like he's trying to sell out the original UFC fans who helped build that sport into what it is.
Yeah.
Well, because you are football player. Tell me about Drake May.
And that concludes our podcast.
Tell me about what's your take on Drake May?
My take is he's a starting quarterback for the Patriots, and that's a good gig. That's a good gig at a time when Vrabel, which I have to say, Vrabel, talking about UFC had a fight night here in Nashville, and it was really cool. I got to sit right there ringside, right behind Dana White. Vrabel's right behind me when he was coaching at the Titans, and we're like looking at each other as these fights were finishing and stuff. Titans fire him. He goes back to New England. Look at him now, rolling.
Great coach,
rolling, man.
Well, it's just a good. It's a great fit.
He's back home.
It's a great fit, and McDaniel back with Drake.
Yeah.
Which
Alabama tried to get Drake May. Mm-hmm. Alabama tried to get him away from UNC, but he was a North Carolina legacy.
Yeah. But it is fun. I'm just curious your take. He looks pretty good. I mean,
I think he's really good.
Looks
that whole class, man. Like all of those guys, and these guys, because the contracts are so insane now, they're having to start younger and younger, right? Like, we got to see what you're made of before we owe $250 million on your second contract. And so these guys are getting thrust into action in a way that wasn't the same for Aaron Rodgers being able to sit behind Brett Favre and some of those guys, or what Tom Brady was supposed to do with Drew Bledsoe before he was thrust into action. So I just have a lot of admiration for someone who tried to play the game at that level. Watching what they do it's incredible.
Man, we are going to need to have you back.
We didn't get to talk any movies or anything.
There's too much stuff on.
It is funny. We're a bunch of songwriters in the music business, and all we want to talk about is everything but the music business most of the time.
Yeah, well, look, I'll talk about anything, man. I'll talk about anything.
Do you like talking about sports more or music more?
Well, there's an aspect to it where it's like every day I'm talking about sports. So when I'm around you guys, I'm like, man, let's just go write a song real quick. Can we just knock one out? But I love it all, man. Yeah. I love it all.
We do too. We
need to encourage people to check out David Cohn.
And Richest Man Mayflower Cigars there, courtesy of Michael Knowles.
Awesome. Thank you.
Brought those over. He signed that for you guys, so I hope you enjoy.
Where can you find Richest Man in Town? Everywhere?
Everywhere.
That's right.
Everywhere except the radio.
For now. Just wait.
Help me out.
For now. Just wait.
No, but it's an awesome project that I'm just, again, really happy that Kent Wells took a chance on me and produced some good material, and really proud of the album. Please listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, or buy it off iTunes, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you check out the podcast, Crane and Company. It's good stuff. If you're watching us, leave us a review. What'd you think of David Cohn?
Yeah,
pretty good. He's pretty good for an ex-pitcher.
If I need to come back, as the perfect game for the Yankees, store, if that increases viewership, I'm happy to do it.
We'll talk about Lady Ballers next time.
Did you see Lady Ballers?
I just saw the trailer. I didn't know it. I didn't know it was out.
Hey, y'all want to have some fun tonight? Go home on Amazon Prime and watch Lady Ballers. Just watch me dunk on chicks.
Oh my god!
Talking about keeping men out of women's sports. We left our mark on that subject. Which again, Riley Gaines was in that movie, and her being in that film for a brief cameo sort of sanctioned that project for us. Because the way that started, without going, I know we're over, but we would always joke with Ben Shapiro when he'd come in that we should get Blaine, my co-host, to infiltrate the WNBA. They're letting this happen now. Let's really do it. And he would laugh, and he would laugh, and he would laugh. Well, one time he laughed and he called us back and he said, let's make a movie. Let's make a movie where you guys are former basketball players and now you're in a women's league, and let's make a comedy. And so we watch Dodgeball, we watch all these Tropic Thunder, all these great comedies to like prep for that. And they let us act in a movie. I still don't know how we.
The trailer is hysterical.
We encourage everybody to check that out too. Lady Ballers, and where can you watch it?
Amazon Prime, I think Fubo, Fire TV, all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
We'll definitely check that out.
Daily Wire Plus is where you can watch it.
Absolutely. Renee's like, mention Daily Wire Plus.
Yeah, sorry.
I actually have Daily Wire Plus. There's some good stuff on there.
Yep.
Like I said, if you're watching us, leave us a review, download the episode. We got to thank Original Glory Beer. We got to thank eSpaces.com. We got to definitely thank eSpaces. It's awesome studio, and of course Patriot Mobile.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got TK, Kalo, Thrash, and David Cohn right there. I'm Curb. We appreciate you guys watching. This is Try That in a Small Town podcast.